Thanks for tapping in with 95 South TV, hosted by Icon Ian King J, bringing you the best news and media through the efforts of the community. We interview nonprofit organizations, business owners, school teachers, spiritual leaders, and anybody who has an impact in the community that has a remarkable backstory. These professionals that we bring on this show has a story that will wow you, that will knock your socks off. And with that being said, we want you to tune in, keep it locked. We want you to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Be a dedicated listener. Come in, and if you require to do an interview, you can definitely reach out to us at 95southpodcast@gmail.com.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Yanni, and we're here on 95 South TV once again. For first and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity, or whatever, to be on this great platform, and you know what I'm saying, with my partner in crime here on the TV, man. You know what I'm saying, your baby mama favorite host. You know what I'm saying, Jacob the Great. What's going on, brother?
Hey man, what's good, man? Happy Sunday, everybody out there, man. Just glad to be in the land of the living, man. I'm grateful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got a few topics tonight. I'm going to the first topic of the night. I'm gonna go ahead and start that one off. And the first topic is the impact of snap card stoppage. So basically, we've seen it all over the country. Where yesterday was the first day of they to put the stoppage of the snap card, aka EBT card, and whatever money you got left on your card or whatever, that's what you can utilize for it right now to be able to put food in your house. So, but so I'm gonna just say this: people may I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but I kind of understand why they're doing it to a certain degree. The reason why I say that is because I think me and you talked about this, and I talked to my mom about this. I said it doesn't make any sense. At some point, you can't have three generations of people just being living in off the system. At some point, that somebody in the generation, somebody along the way, has to start looking at trying to baby pull themselves out of that situation. And I'm not talking about people that need the money, that whether you handicapped or whether you got other things going on. I'm talking about people who just refuse to try to work. The people that just rely on the system for whatever reason, don't try to go out and get go to college, don't get a trade, don't do anything. They just see their grandma living off the system, they see their mama living off the system, so they decide to live off the system. So at some point, I feel like what Trump was trying to do is say, listen, like the same thing he did with the whole what you call it, Section 8 thing. You got a couple of years to kind of get yourself together. So I think sometimes you got to push people who don't want to be pushed to be able to see, okay, I can't keep living like this. Let me figure it out. Because I say this all the time. Sometimes you really don't see what people or what kind of person it really is until their back's against the wall. You don't really see a person's like survival's instinct until their back is against the wall. So what's your thought on all this?
My thought is you're absolutely right. But my other thoughts on this is it's people fault, but it's the government fault too. How you let somebody get Section 8 for 20 years? That's the government fault, bro. No
Yep.
limitations or no nothing, bro. How you been in the projects for 25 years, man?
Mm-hmm.
And, and,
Mm-hmm.
and, and how you been on government house for 25 years? Now, you know, I hear a lot of these mamas, ranting about, you know, uh, they can't put no food in the house. So, man, you mean to tell me you having kids and you relying on the government to feed your kids?
Mm-hmm.
What what type of mom are you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you telling me that your kids would not eat without government assistance?
Yeah.
Boy, that's a whole different can of whoop ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Man, listen, man. We can say what we want, Will or May, man. A lot of people, like these people out here having baby after baby, and our tax dollars got to pay for that. And then, not only that, man, if if you're if you're constantly dealing with a male that don't mean you no good, is not going to help you take care of these kids. So you're going to turn to the government. And so I think what he's doing is trying to show people this can be easily taken away.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so so why have you not? So if your own housing or Section 8 or EBT, so this is the time, and you own housing, that's paid for. You own EBT, so your food is paid for, and most of you get a utility check. So
Hmm.
there's three different ways that the government help you. And so why don't more people have college degrees? Why didn't
Yeah.
you take that time to better yourself if you're getting the help from the government? So to me, it makes no sense.
Yeah, because think about the word is called assistance. The word ain't called live off of. It's called assistance. So in other words, it's supposed to assist you in whatever you got going on in your house. So really, when they call it supplement, even either an assistant or supplement. So really it's supposed to just supplement what you lacking. It doesn't supposed to be your dominant reason to be able to live. Even like getting food for your house. It's supposed to supplement what you can't pay for as far as food is concerned. It ain't supposed to just be the only sort of way you eat you feed your family. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, if you see a lot of people when they go to the grocery store, you look in their basket, they might have more junk food than they got regular food. They got more chips and cookies and bad cereal than they do like stuff that they, you know what I mean, that's something you really need like meats and vegetables and stuff in their carbs. So at the end of the day, it's like y'all take some people take advantage of the system so much that they don't even utilize it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying at the end of the day, I'm not totally against them like getting rid of the food stamp thing. I'm just saying because like you might get somebody get like $1,200 a month in food stamps. And then good and well, we all know, Jacob, what that really means. What happens when you get people get food stamps? They might use $500-600 of it, fill up the house, and sell the other 700. You know what I'm saying? That's really because in Michigan, before they even came up with this law, in Michigan they put your picture on the food stamp now on the card. So now you can't even sell your food stamps unless you're willing to go to the grocery store with the person you selling the food stamps with. So now you can't even go to a grocery store in Michigan with that card because they're gonna look at the picture on the food stamp card to make sure you ain't that you the person that is supposed to be buying this food. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but it is what it is. I just wanted to throw that. I just wanted to talk about that first. You got a topic that you want to throw out?
Okay, yeah, I do. Now, this is something I want to ask you, but it's a question for the masses, but we gonna let you answer for the masses. Do you think that people are in a mental space to be prepared on this economic challenge that we're about to face?
Um, I would say this: poor people, especially black folks, we probably are. Mexicans, I would say they probably are. But the people who basically feel entitled, who basically had generational money or had somebody that can pass down money or businesses to them, I don't think they are. Because if you notice, every time we go through a crisis like this, the people who not used to really working hard for their money and haven't really gone through anything financially don't know how to handle it. Black folks and poor people, we just weather the storm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying at the end of the day, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a hustle. You know what I'm saying? We got to sell water on the side of the road, some watermelons. You know what I'm saying? If we got to sell bootleg liquor, we going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We going to figure out how to make money one way or another to feed our families or whatever. But people who not used to going through nothing financially, those are the ones you notice like when Wall Street will fall, crash. What happened? A lot of them Wall Street guys end up unaliving themselves because they can't deal with
Yeah.
not having money anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing about it is we went through this through COVID. So we should have already learned how to cope with it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, we should understand how to cope with it. And I was telling my mom, I said, the thing that scares me now, like I've been on this road for 6 years, traveling around the country. And I said, people who not used to going through stuff, is it going to be like the book of Eli? So if you ever watch the book of Eli, it got to the point where they started doing almost a level of, I ain't gonna say cannibalism, but it was like everybody was out for themselves trying to get that next meal or whatever it was, or whatever the case may be. So, are people gonna be running up on somebody like myself they see out there by themselves and try to do something to me because they be like, oh man, he by himself, he vulnerable. Let me run up on him, try to rob him or do something to him. You know what I'm saying? So I told my mom, I said, yeah, it's about time for me to come off this road because at this point, I don't know what people would do to try to get that next meal or the next dollar because
Right.
because they don't have no other way to try to get to it to get, what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm in strange places. I go to strange places,
Mhm.
sundown towns, small towns with ain't a black person in sight type places. And I try to be as careful as I
Right.
can. Only go to the well lit gas stations when I get gas, like truck stops where I know it's a lot of traffic. When I go to restaurants, that's why I eat bad food sometimes because I'm only gonna go to like restaurants where I know in open areas, and I'm not going into these establishments where them sit down establishments where I walk in and everybody gonna stop and drop their fork and look at me. So I gotta be careful where I eat at and where I go. You know what I'm saying, based on where I may be at in the country. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So and that's not just dealing with white folk, but us too. I might go somewhere us be at, and they might cut up. So I got to look it from both ways. You know what I mean?
right. Right. Right.
So
Right. I can dig it. I can dig it. Well, I think that mentally we used to be prepared when we talk
mm-hmm,
about our mothers and fathers, our grandparents, our great grandparents, and maybe our generation, our time. But man, your son's generation, your daughter's generation, boy, they ain't prepared, bro. Like
no,
I know kids right now, boy. If you tell them that the United States of America is getting rid of Wi-Fi forever, well, you're gonna have a problem.
mm, yeah,
You're
you're
gonna
right.
have you're gonna
You're
have a
right.
problem. And let's go a little bit further than that. The word no gives these young people depression and
Mm-hmm,
anxiety. How many
mm-hmm.
times we got told no?
Sure, more than we see. I sold. Yes, I know that much for that much. You know what I mean? I tell you, I know that much. You know what I'm saying? You get to the point you get told no so nothing by your mama
Mm-mm.
that you won't even
Uh,
ask no more.
for
You
real,
just
for
be like,
real.
I just figure it out. I ain't about to be, I already know what the answer is gonna be to this question. So I
Man,
don't
that's
even,
crazy.
that's why I was
That's
working at
it.
15. Cause I know I will get told no if you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, when I ask for certain stuff by the time I'm 15 and old enough to work. You know what I'm saying? It's just me asking my mama, cause I already know the answer to that question.
But why do you think that is, Icon, that when kids get told no, they just go into a whole meltdown, man? That's got to be a serious mental condition that nobody's talking about.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and we talked about this before, but each generation of parenting slowly stopped disciplining their kids little by little. When our grandparent, great grandparents, and they disciplined their kids, it was a certain level of fear they put in their kids. But if you notice, each generation would be like, well, I got hit with a switch. I'm not gonna do my kids like that. I'm not gonna make my kids, go without a meal. I'm not gonna make my kids do this or do that. So by the time it got to my kids' generation, whatever, that, like my daughter say, oh, she got this thing, gentle parenting. So we be sitting over there looking at her, I be looking at her like gentle parenting. So I see her, I be watching my daughter go back and forth with her daughter. You going back and forth with a 4, 5, 6 year old? This is what we doing? So you go you and the 4 and 5 year old going back and forth. You know what I mean? Y'all, they having real discussions on going to bed, or real discussions on I want to do this and I want to do that. You know what I'm
Say it
saying?
ain't
To the point
say it ain't so.
I'm there. Bro, I'm telling you, I'll be sitting there watching my daughter go back with, and I'm like, you want to be, you okay? You want to do the gentle parenting? And I sit there and watch and go back and forth. And I don't say a word. You know what I'm saying? Unless my granddaughter, like, and she a good child. She a good child. But, just like any 4, 3, 4, 5 year old, you might have to tell them something more than once or twice. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
But when it come to Papa, we ain't going back and forth. If
No,
I
so
say go to
so
bed, if I say go do whatever, I ain't about to say it no 2, 3, 4 times. You know what I'm
let me
saying?
give you let me give you a broad example. You said it come from the parent. They may be they might be right. But you know where they really come from? The laws in these serial box school teachers that we have.
He says, "Hell, my school teacher."
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Well,
Like, like I had tough teachers, bro. Whether they was male or female,
mm-hmm.
especially the males, because we didn't have that many male teachers in the school, whether they was black or white. We had a
Yeah,
handful of them, so they was really
yeah,
tough. But
mm-hmm.
they'll tell you quick back in the day, um, if you can't respect the classroom rules, or you can't respect me as your teacher, and I'm trying to teach you something, I do not want you in my class. Go to your guidance counselor and get your schedule changed. And if you
And
say that, and if you say that now,
yeah,
oh, they gonna crucify that teacher.
mm-hmm. That ain't gonna work. And then that just seem back to class, because the thing about it is now with school teachers now, a lot of them don't really want to do their job. When you are a parent and you a parent like how we were, you know what I'm saying? When we went our kids, our teachers or whatever principal, we was very involved. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they knew when the Miss Jones or Mr. Jones come to the school that they better, that, like, we need to get some results, and we're gonna keep pushing the school until we get what we want out of it, especially if we see that our child is not learning based off the fact that you're not doing your job. Now, my child not learning because of something that, if we working with the child or whatever, and then you're not doing your job, then we're gonna have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then another thing on the parental side, when a teacher you have those good teachers that do discipline your kids, but you want to go over there and act ignorant when you get to the school. You be ready to fight the teacher, the principal, the doggone guidance, everybody at the school, because somebody said something to your little badass child. You know what I mean? Because the parents that act up is the ones that always had the worst kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The ones that be wanting to hit the teacher and fight the other kids, and then talk back and cursing and carrying on. Because, you know what I'm saying? That's why they kid go home, and that's why they kid know, oh, I got to tell my mama or my daddy. And then some of these daddies are softer than the mamas. I done seen it. I done seen it in my grand. Some of these mamas, some of these daddies is softer than the mamas. Some of these daddies don't want to do their job. I be seeing some of these daddies with their kids, and they kids be cutting up, and they are like they don't know what to do, how to slow them, especially with the girls. You know what I'm saying? Especially daddies with girls. Oh my God, they be bad with it. They don't have.
no,
They be like they
no.
don't no clue how to discipline their child.
So fathers, this a disclaimer. My boy Icon E just say that y'all are softer than lightsaber gummies.
They are. Some of these dads, I be looking at these dads with their kids, and they the kids be running around, running them over, talking them crazy, and they just be like, they be like they don't know what to do. I don't know if they because they don't spend enough time with their child, and it be their time, they moment be like, well, I ain't been around as much, or I'm not around as much. I'm gonna let them get away with this, that, and the third. I don't care how much, even my dad. My dad wasn't in my life all the time, but I know one thing about my dad. When he did come around, the one thing I wasn't gonna do is be fly with the mouth. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, or not listen, regardless of how much he was in my life. So at the end of the day, some of these doggone parents got to tighten up on the way. It ain't always about spanking your child, because sometimes you can spank your child too much, and then they come immune to it. Now I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they
say
do.
this before we move on. The one thing I don't like, with parents. Some parents. I don't like them ghetto ass women or parents like them ghetto parents where they be cursing at their kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shut the F up. Shut your stupid blah 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 down. Blah blah. And then you wonder why your child grow up to be the way they grow, because you have no encouraging words to them. You cursing them all the time. You demeaning them. You talking down to them in public or whatever. That ain't how you talk. You can think about it as with children, especially young kids. And I'm talking about this how parents be talking to 2 and 3 year olds. The thing about with parents, you can fuss at your kid without using profanity, without cursing at them, without talking down to
Mhm.
them like that. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But when you talk down to them and you wonder why they go to school and they cursing at the teacher and cursing at other kids, because your dumb butt be sitting there cursing at them all day long in the house. And that's all they hear all through. And then you start playing doggone Sexy Red and doggone Meg the Stallion on top of that, and then watching sex movies and all kind of stuff in front of them. But then you wonder why your kid in there, why you got your daughter end up pregnant at 13. You know what I'm saying? Or your son out here selling dope at 12. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because you ain't set no kind of boundaries in the house.
you're right.
You
So
know what
let
I'm
me
saying?
let me say this outcome. I was on somebody live on YouTube, right? And she said, I believe that she was talking about our generation. She younger than us. She was like the she said the generation like my father and my mother. She was like, y'all was going through child abuse and y'all never knew it. So I said, well, your generation is going to jail at a rapid pace because they are unaliving one another because they didn't have discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a little back and forth. So when you hear people say that our generation went through child abuse and never knew it, what's your thoughts on that? Because that's what they think about our generation, though.
Well, it's in the Bible to basically, uh, if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. So, in other words, if you don't discipline your child, then you're gonna get what you get. What you's like unaliving each other and no kind of discipline in the world, no kind of boundaries in the world, or whatever.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I make jokes about getting spanked as we all do, but I ain't really
Uh-huh.
get spanked as much as it wasn't like no every week thing or just abuse. I wasn't penny from good time when my mom putting an iron on my back, hot iron on my back. But did I
You
get did
know.
I get whooped? And I'll be honest with you, more than likely, probably I would say maybe 70% of the time, probably when I did get a spanking, I probably deserved it. You know what I'm saying? I probably did something I wasn't supposed to be doing that I was probably told before that 100 times not to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was a little sneaky little kid. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
I was I was different. My sister, if she did anything, she did it. She did all her stuff in the dark, or she did her stuff in a way where she ain't get caught. Me, if I got caught, I'm just gonna take my consequences for what it was. Like, okay,
Right.
well, I'm gonna do this, and it was like that. What's that saying? I rather um I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. So with me, I just sometimes, especially as I got teenage age and really got a little what they call mannish, you know what I mean, or whatever. Then it was at that point I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do, and then whatever happened from it. I'm either trying to talk my way out of it, or I just whatever my mom do, she just do. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay. I dig it. I dig it. So the next topic icon is something that me and you see in real time. So we're gonna talk about the mental breakdown of people inside the entertainment industry.
Mm, mm,
The mental breakdown of people inside the entertainment industry. So
mm,
mental health and the entertainment industry go hand in hand. Whether you're a singer, a rapper, a musician, you play sports, or an actress, actor, film director, whatever you are, mental health and the entertainment business go hand in hand. Because
mm,
I've been around the entertainment business for a very long time, And I've seen people who was genius in whatever field they're in the entertainment business, but they was mentally disturbed for real, for real.
Yeah.
You know, and so why do people not want to talk about this? Why do the culture of fans, you know, whatever type of fan you are, they uplift crazy behavior, and they know in their mind that the behavior is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They know that a normal person don't shouldn't act like that. You know, just like we can talk about Nicki Minaj, we can talk about Kanye West. We can even I even think Clarissa Shields is off brand. Now, Layla Ali, okay, she retired fighter, you know, the best ever do it. But she ain't said she want to fight you, man. She just said that she don't think that you are better than her when she was in her prime.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's that's just like Vince Carter saying in his prime, Anthony Edwards is not better than me. It's nowhere close. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this mental health thing in this in this music industry, entertainment industry, uh, do you think it's going to get better, or is it going to continue to escalate and get worse?
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse because for one, people don't care about your mental health like the fans don't. They look at it as like you making all this money, you famous, you got everything at your your heart's desire, whether it's money, clothes, women, whatever, men, whatever it is, you got everything you want. So basically, they look at it, whatever issues you going through is rich people problems, or how you complaining, and I'm down here living in the project, so I don't even know where my next meal coming from, or I'm living check to check, not realizing most artists and people in the business, whether you're an actor or artist or living check to check. You know what I'm saying? Now athletes may not be living in that world or whatever. Most of them are, more well off, or can take care of themselves a little bit better. But in the actual entertainment world, they live in check to check. You know what I'm saying? Most of them we're hoping that next movie hit, hoping they stay on that next TV show long enough to keep making money off of it. Artists, we already know most of their money coming from touring or whatever the case may be. So or whatever. And that's if they get big enough to be able to go through all that. Now I heard who was out hearing this? I was watching somebody yesterday, and they were saying that basically when you go, everybody think that being famous and whatever is and being in the entertainment is a great thing all the time, and it's not. Because they like if you go into like a Walmart or whatever, you guys might have to stop 100 times to sign an autograph or take a picture. Whether me and you could go into a Walmart right now and be able to shop at 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever, get our stuff and get up out of there. But they were like, yes, I know that's what we signed up for, but it still don't make it easy to be able to move on. Just about think about somebody like a Jordan or Michael Jackson or LeBron or Steph. Think about these people, or even like a Drake or anybody they can't go in public and just be able to just I'm gonna go to the movies tonight, or I'm gonna just go in a restaurant and sit down in the midst of everybody and eat dinner. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be able to get through one bite of food. And then if you tell them no, if you tell a fan, I no wait, I take your picture. I mean, I take a picture with you after I get done eating. Oh, you think you all that? You know what I'm saying? Now they going on their Instagram and they TikTok want to talk bad about you, talking about how arrogant you are because you ain't stopped in the middle of your meal. The doggone get them a picture or something. Like me personally, if I see somebody famous and I do want to like maybe get a picture or say something to him, I wait. Like when I seen, I'll give you an example before I get back to you. I seen um Cheryl Underwood last year at of all places, Cracker Barrel. Walked in, didn't even see it first. She said something to me, or kind of gestured to me first. I sat down, I was in there by myself. She was with her mom and I think her brother or somebody. And she did like this to me, saying, yeah, yeah, we the only black folks in here, so I got you. We got you. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of looked at first, I looked at her like I started laughing when she did it. And I said, hold on, are you Sharon Underwood? And she said, yes, I am. So I sat down. Okay, I said, cool. So I sat down, ate my food. Then when I seen him about to leave, get up, that's when I said, oh, before you leave, do you mind if I get, you know what I'm saying, get a picture with you? Oh, yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? But she respected that because I waited. I didn't go to her like as soon as I walked in and said, can I get a picture? And I know you sitting down, you in there with your food in front of you about to eat. And that's what most fans don't do.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So the mental health thing of somebody always mentally have to go through something. And then we know how this business is, Jacob. We done been doing these last 3 months has been the most stressful I ever dealt with in the music. I mean, we've been doing it since the 90s. And these last 3 months of dealing with these crazy folk and the stuff they be doing that to be trying to come at us with, the stuff they be trying to come with, it be I'm glad I was raised in the generation I was raised in. Because if I was raised in this generation, me and you probably would already been quit. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
And let me say this, man. Now we gonna say that yeah, music is used as therapy. It is, but we also got to understand this. Mentally, when the music stopped, the guitar stopped playing. No more studio time. Ain't no more casting calls. When you got to face that mental problem head on, that's why you hear so many people committing suicide. Now I'm gonna give you like the dude to play Mrs. Delphi, Robin.
Mm-hmm.
His son said, "Man, you could have told me my daddy wasn't happy." You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so when those cameras go out and no more lights and people have to face those challenges, those problems head on, man, they can't deal with it, bro. Because
Mm-hmm.
mentally their mind is racing so much till they just want a way out. You know what I mean? So that entertainment business and that mental health, man, is something serious, man. And so why do you think that people that's in the entertainment business feel like they have no one to talk to?
Well, because a lot of them don't. Because you gotta think, and I don't know if what Robin Williams' situation is, or other people that who have taken their lives that's been super famous that we thought, man, how did they end up unalive themselves, all the money and fame that they had? But sometimes you get all the way to the highest mountain with all the money, the fame, and everything, and then you realize I still ain't happy. Then we be like, dang, I still ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I'd be happy with all of this around me. Then when you realize it, that's what makes you spiral out. Cause it's like you at that point you realize other than God, if you don't go to God, if you don't have God in your life, ain't nothing gonna make me happy. So I
I
just
ask my
feel like,
I, I, I ask myself this question. One of the most high regard rap artists that we'll ever see ever, man. And and we'll never probably have another voice like his on the record, man. I asked myself, was Earl Simmons, aka DMX Darkman X, was he ever truly happy while he was inside the music business?
probably
It
not,
don't
because
it don't seem like he was ever happy.
it probably wasn't. Because when you're a real one and you got to deal with the BS of the business, you probably not really ever happy dealing with it because you know everybody around you fake. And then you really can't, like you asked the question, who can you go? You have nobody to talk to. Because most of the people around you don't understand what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not the one that's famous. They're just living off of you. So they'll come to you and ask you for money. They'll come to you and always want your time and your energy for something when you got to spend most of your time and your energy trying to get ready for that next show,
Right.
trying to write that next record. But then you got family and friends that always want something out of you. So you can't be happy because it's somebody always on some give me. Nobody's ever trying to give you anything. They always want to take from you. So when people around you always on some take, and never no give type thing, then how can you be happy? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, even what I do, Jacob, for a living, and people assume what I do driving these cars, riding around the country, that I got a certain level of money. So I always get people always asking me for money. You know what I'm saying? Because they assume that I make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So just imagine when we take this thing to the next level on, with this music stuff. How many people gonna be asking you for money? You know what I'm saying, oh man, put me on, dog. I can rap, I can sing, and they can't sing their way out of a wet paper bag. And you know what I'm saying? You be sitting there looking at them like, bro, come on now, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you just hating on me, bro. You don't know, you ain't trying to help nobody. Or you think you better than me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's why you got to get out your own city. Because
Yeah,
people in your
yeah,
city gonna be looking at Jacob as the big dog. You're gonna really be King Jacob now. And if you ain't willing to help them get out their situation, now they're gonna be hating on you. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
You know?
That shit, it's crazy, man. And the crazy thing about that, man, is when you was climbing up them ranks and you stayed focused and you never folded, those are the same people that wouldn't even donate a nine later.
Exactly.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
And you know how me and you are. We both are always trying to help people. You
yep.
know what I'm saying? But they want us to help us on their terms.
Mhm.
If when I say I need you to do this, that, the third, and I can help you do whatever you need to do, what they gonna do? Oh no, I need you to help me on my terms. I want to do it this way, but I need you to help me do it my way. But if me and you say no, you need to do it this way for me to help you, man, that's too much. I get back with you. Okay, all right, you get back with me then. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Man. So you just really never know. And so I can another thing that I want to talk about. There hasn't been a top 40 hip hop record in 35 years. Mm.
You
When
said it's
I
been a
see
top 40.
a top 40
Okay,
in 35 years,
what you talking about on Billboard?
yeah,
Oh, you
you
saying
got
this is the first time it
in
hasn't been one? That's what you saying?
no in 35 years. You got top 100, top 200, top 400, but a top
Okay,
40 record. Top 40
yeah.
record when you got like Pitbull and Flow Rider, when you got when you got the Jonas Brothers, when you got people like Taylor Swift, when you got people like Bruno Mars,
So
you know,
Drake or Kendrick ain't been in the top 40?
no, mm-mm.
Really?
They've been number one on the hip hop and R&B charts,
But
but
the
when it
overall
comes,
Billboard charts, they haven't been on the top 40 in the overall Billboard.
no,
Wow.
no top 40 hits from the hip hop genre in 35 years.
On the overall Billboard charts.
Right, top 40. You know
I,
when you
I ain't.
when you top 40, man, you somebody special, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Well, just recently, this is the first time in history, or and then like I think they said in like 30 years or something, there hadn't been a top. It wasn't a rap song in the top 100 for the first time in like 30 years in the top 100.
so
That lets you know how
so my
bad music they got.
so my question to you, was Nas wrong when he said hip hop is dead? Was he actually wrong?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He warned us before it died. That's the crazy part. Because when he said it, we still had decent artists that was moving around, but they wasn't. But he seen where it was going. He see where it was headed. He probably seen what the record labels was about to do. You know what I'm saying? He seen what how they was gonna go to the point where they was gonna do all this, what I'm saying, drug using music and all this, bad rapping and monotone rap and all. He probably seen where it was going. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jay-Z said the death of auto tune, because Jay-Z seen where it was headed. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean, before it happened, they seen it, you know. So that's crazy, man. I didn't know that. That's that blow my mind. That's news to me because I would have figured Kendrick and Drake would at least been in the top 40 of the overall, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But that's crazy to me. You
Nah,
know what
my
I'm
brother.
saying? But that just let you know how bad. It's funny because somebody asked me this yesterday. They said when I was letting them hear some of the artists that we want to work with, they was like, well, they sound like country artists that's already out, that's been out. They know not country artists, that sound or that old R&B. I'm not gonna say who the artists were. Me and you talked about it. And I had to go back to them. I said, you know what? When we talked about this, I said, to be honest with you, that's what we going back to. I said, we're trying to go back to the artists that sound like a Hootie and Blowfish, Hootie, like a Marcus Darius Rucker, but we doing it
Yeah,
our way, where we have a
right.
new sound. They may sound like them voice wise, but the production and the stuff that's going to be behind it is going to be better. It's going to be different type of production, but it may
Uh-huh.
sound like that because we have
Right.
to go backwards to go forward. Right at this point, that's how bad it is. Because you're not going to sound, you're not going to find a lot of new sound at this point. So you gotta go back with people that have that old soul, that old type of rap style, and then and develop them to put the music and their sound together. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. That why you think in hip hop right now they keep going back to the legacy artists, whether it's touring, whether they coming out with new music. It's got so bad they got to go back to the artists that came out in the 80s and 90s and bring them back with new albums.
Yeah,
That's how bad it's gotten.
that's
You know
crazy,
what I'm
right?
saying? But these new artists want to tell you they know everything and they got it all figured out because it's just because social media done told them, oh, you don't need nobody. All you need is yourself. You don't need nobody to help you do nothing. And that's a flat out lie. It's a
Yeah,
flat out lie. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a team around you, you're not going to get where you need to go.
you're
You know what
right.
I'm saying? At
Absolutely.
all. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
who are we, Jacob? Who are we to tell these artists anything that think they got it all figured out? Even they come to you, you go to their social media page, and they got 2 followers, can't book their own show, don't know what a split sheet is, don't know how to code, don't know how about sync licensing, they don't know nothing about nothing. How many times we go every night we on live, Jacob? And we ask our artists, okay, you got all this great music. What's your plan to put them in? Well, that's why I'm still trying to figure it out. Because you ain't really trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really makes you ask you that question. So you ain't never really trying to figure out how you're going to push your music. You just
That's
say,
right.
oh, it's on all platforms. You know how many records is on all platforms? It's millions of records on
I
all
don't give a
platforms.
I don't give a damn what's on Spotify, Apple. And I don't give a damn about that, bro.
No.
Because that don't mean you can sell records. All you do is got a DSP that allows your music to be in stores, but there's no real marketing promotion or no campaigning behind your music. You're just hoping somebody listens to your music because it's on the DSP.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, because you think you did something. Yeah, follow me on all platforms. Go check my music on Apple and Spotify and all this other stuff. And you'd be like, okay, so if Chris Brown came out with something and Usher came out with something and Cardi B came out with something and I don't know, Taylor Swift or whoever, whatever kind of music you listen to, I'm supposed to start what I'm doing to go listen to the MC such and such that I ain't never heard of. And then when I do go listen to you, it's gonna sound like hot garbage. But you want me to go listen to your music.
Listen, man,
Okay.
I'm not going to listen to Joe Blow to love a man over Chris Brown.
Exactly. Because I know what I'm getting out of them. This like somebody said yesterday. I ain't gonna tell you who your boy said. Tell you off the line what he said before we get out of here. So we on DJ Energetic Live. And then he say, yeah, I got music on YouTube and this, that, and the third. And I said, bro, first of all, ain't nobody got time to go as A&Rs. We don't got time to go to your YouTube page. If we tell you to email us, then email us the music. I'm not going to 100 artists YouTube page. That's what these little young A&Rs will do that don't know music. I ain't about to be doing all that. If you want your music to be, so you want me to chase you instead of you bringing the music to me. Back in the day, Real labels, you got to go to the label and show them that you was worth it. This new generation think you supposed to chase them. I'm not chasing you for what? What have you done for me to chase you? What can you provide to me? You the one that need the money. You the one that need the look. If I can provide the look, you know what I'm saying? If I was the devil himself, you'll come to me. But then you don't look at me. You don't look at me that way. You look at me as, oh, who is you, dog? What have you done? Blah blah blah. Okay, it don't matter what I done. It's what I can provide for you if you're serious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, well, who are we, Jacob? We ain't nobody.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but anyway, bro, another great show. Like I said, we gonna start do this maybe like once a month. You know what I'm saying? As far as like just chopping it up. You know, we
Okay.
have a lot of great people that we interview, and we love interviewing people. But sometimes we just like to sit around and talk like two men and just kind of talk in about the industry and what's going on. And it's a good conversation to have. You know, whether it's the music industry, whether it's life. We didn't even get to all the topics I wanted to get to, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
We
oh
had a
yeah.
we had we had a great show. But anyway, shout out to everybody out there who following us. Y'all keep following us. And I guarantee you, as long as God give us breath and allow us to do this, we got bigger stuff in store for 2026. So see y'all next time. God bless. Have a great week.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Brown skinned girl, and she knew I was out to go and clear my mind.